So I'm having a chat with Sights. How are you guys?
Hey, we're great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So, first things first, we've been playing a new single of yours called 6 a.m. to Paris. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
So we started writing this song would it have been January time? And right as we were in the middle of writing it, we got asked to go on tour with Dylan. So we had to park the idea, but as we were on that tour and every sound check, both of us kept coming back to the riff, didn't we?
Yeah, so we ended up kind of playing it, that intro riff, and we had
On
that
repeat.
that those intro kind of lyrics and melody, and we used to always kind of play it and jam it in sound checks, and it was an idea we kept coming back to, and we decided, look, we
We're
actually
gonna have
said
to
to each
make this
other,
song.
we're gonna have to make this when we come off tour.
So it was the first song we made. As soon as we came off tour, we went straight into the studio. And yeah, it's got all the energy. You can probably feel that in the production of big drums, big guitars, and we hope people feel the infectiousness of it and the energy. We tried to really map that when we were bringing it to life.
Yeah, nice, great stuff. And that's coming off your new EP, which is out on March the 22nd. Through thick and thin, what can we expect to hear when we get a chance to take a listen?
Yeah, I mean, we can't believe that it's finally going to be out because we've spent a minute, working on these songs, and I suppose it's a journey. This EP is a journey. It's about connection with other people, the people that you're close to, but also kind of the relationship with yourself as well, and how that kind of grows and evolves through some of the things we might encounter in our kind of day-to-day life, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And there's songs that kind of are even more on the raw emotive side, like Fragile, which was actually quite difficult for us to write and record in the studio. We were just being very, I think, just us being very candid about our kind of thoughts and feelings towards our own families and how your relationship evolves with them as you grow from when you were a kid, and how you see your parents differently. And so it's I
There's
suppose
some
it's
like
a
intimate moments in there, but there's also some like they're matched with some really big,
yeah.
kind of fun, energetic moments as well. But as Mia said, there's no shortage of kind of cathartic moments in this, for at least for us, and like so we really are looking forward to seeing how people react and what they think of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the first half of a two-part EP. How's the second EP gonna sound in comparison to this one?
Ooh, that's a great question.
It's been very much, I suppose, a kind of a natural development. When we were writing for the first EP, which is obviously coming out next week, was very much it was a journey, I suppose, and we continued writing. So it's kind of following our journey as well, what we started writing for, within the second EP. And there's definitely different themes that are coming up in the second EP. So
It's almost like that progression of the story, but sound wise, it's going to be slightly more, a little bit even more bigger and maybe more pursuing that energy of like fulfillment and joy, certainly in the topics and also in the production. So
yeah.
there might be like some more big moments as well, yeah.
And it kind of, I suppose, focuses the next part of the EP focuses in a little bit more on, I suppose, the relationship, I suppose, that you have with yourself and how you view yourself and the insecurities that you might have, and the idea that there's a lot of pressure on people to kind of conform in different ways, whether it's physically or whether it's something in their life or a standard that they need to kind of conform to in order to be accepted, or that's kind of I suppose pressures as well, and it kind of digs into that a little bit deeper, and hopefully kind of encourages people to kind of love and accept themselves and embrace their individuality, and that is certainly a theme throughout the next EP and the kind of next body of songs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And you've mentioned already that you have been doing some live shows this year. How were they?
Oh, they've been amazing, honestly. I feel like, I mean, we finally got to do our own headline tour, which was absolutely unbelievable. The people in the rooms were just so the energy was amazing. So I feel like we're both still coming down a bit from that, aren't we?
It was our first ever headline tour, so it was something we'd been waiting for and really looking forward to for a minute. And honestly, it exceeded our expectations. It was just a really kind of, each night was like uniquely special, and there was just an energy in the room, and everyone that came to the shows, it just felt really special. And it's definitely something, you know, we won't forget. And we actually played some of the songs from this EP that are not released yet, live for the first time in those rooms, which was amazing.
Yeah,
amazing feeling.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely. I can well imagine. And aside from Transmit Festival, you've not got much else booked in the diary. What's your plan for the rest of this year?
So we're playing Belladrum in Scotland as well this summer.
We just announced that.
We just got announced for that. We're playing the main stage, so it's our first main stage slot, which is also like a kind of little milestone for us, which is we're very looking forward to.
And we've got a lot more live to announce as well.
So many announcements coming, which are going to be, we'll be busy. So keep an eye on the socials for that.
Yeah, nice. Are you hoping to be heading overseas into Europe, maybe to the States at some point?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, one of our biggest goals with SIIGHTS is to be able to travel and be able to perform in a room and connect and meet people that equally connect to our music. So, you know, traveling, you know, all around the world, to be able to do that is really what we aspire to do.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'd like to talk a little bit about the writing side of things as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
So I suppose every track for us really starts either on acoustic guitar or piano. So you know, we'll either pick up an acoustic or as I said, sit down at a piano and really kind of write the song from there. We'll sometimes step away for a minute to kind of jot down lyrics and really make sure that side of it is strong. But all the songs really start from that kind of acoustic place before we ever go near production and kind of start building that up.
1000%. But we oftentimes, we're always talking about concepts, what's going on in each of our lives, or maybe things that we've experienced friends go through, and we'll have a bunch of ideas and concepts before we even get in the room. And sometimes from there, I might bring in a full song, or I might bring in like a chorus, and we just bring them to life together, which has been the most enjoyable part of SIIGHTS so far, that we're just so aligned with creating.
Yeah, and I think like as well, like there's certain songs, like I know we mentioned earlier, Fragile, like that was a concept that we had for quite a while and that we really wanted to write on, but we wanted to make sure that we were being, I suppose, really candid and honest in it. We weren't shying away from what we wanted to say. So it took a minute for that song to kind of
like come out in a way.
Yeah, really.
We almost had to wait till we had a moment of peace, and then we were like, right, this is the day to write Fragile, and boom, within that day, like Fragile was born. But the concept was floating around for
quite some time. Yeah, it was something that we kind of wanted to write, and I suppose you kind of just have to wait until you're in that headspace.
Like,
and
maybe it's like a kind of peace that comes over us, and we're like, right, that's time for a special one, kind of thing. So,
and I think with this EP as well, because we were touring and playing live while we were kind of in that studio process, we were in and out of the studio during the time. I think it's you always when you're playing live, you always are kind of imagining how those songs are going to come to life live as well. So that was very much in the forefront of our minds when we were writing and creating both these EPs, actually.
Yeah,
nice. And with the lyrics side of things as well, how easy do the lyrics come to you, and how easy are they to fit into the music you create?
Oh, I love that question.
Yeah,
I'd almost say too. Unfortunately for us, we both are big writers. We're big. I say unfortunately, ironically, it's like we are so in our head that writing is the way that we get out of it.
Yeah.
So maybe chronic overthinkers, but we're very like, we're both like write all the time. So it's never an issue. Lyrics come very easily. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it can be scary sometimes when you're being like, when you're really getting deep with something in a song and you're kind of feeling like, gosh, this feels so revealing, or this feels so raw. It's almost a little bit scary. But I think we realized the only way of us really being authentic, which is the only way really for us, is to do that, you know, and to put ourselves out there. And I suppose the hope is, and what we found is, if somebody can identify with that and connect with something that is incredibly, you've been very honest and kind of vulnerable with, that is where the real beauty is, I think. And that's where I want to say magic almost, because when you're in a room and somebody has connected with something that you've written, and they're equally being vulnerable and in that moment, sharing that moment with you live when you're playing the song, I think that is a really special moment.
That's why we do it, I'd say.
Yeah,
there's nothing
for
better.
sure. And sometimes, like with lyrics, sometimes they'll come, as Tony was saying, like incredibly easily and quickly, and it will kind of flow with the melody. And then there's other times you might have written something in the song and you're like, I want to be a little bit clearer. I want to, you know, and you'll jump back in then, and you'll kind of like maybe rewrite something to make it just clearer, more accurate to what you're trying to say, I suppose.
Right. That's a good point.
But yeah, you know, it's something we both write, and we'll kind of both write like almost poetry sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a big part of SIIGHTS, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
You
Thanks
too.
for having us.
And thanks for all the support.